All right, good day to you. My name is Fred Oakman, and as always with me today is Mr. Jake Peters. We are PS This Is Awesome. We're a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 225, show where we share our feelings about the current state of PlayStation. But before we get on with the show, I want to invite you all to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome. You can visit us on Twitter at PS This Is Awesome. And if you want to make fun of our trophy list on the PSN, you can find me at anchorless_81 and Mr. Jake Peters at jakesaw01. As always, you can write the show at psthisisawesome@gmail.com. And most importantly, don't forget to share the show with your friends. Make sure to leave comments and rate the podcast as you see fit. As a reminder, this is a video podcast as well, so you can watch our show if you prefer over at our YouTube channel. For new and or long-time listeners, we now have a Patreon where you can support our show at a $1 level called the One and Only $1 Club. You can head over to patreon.com/psthisisawesome to become a $1 a month patron, get a free die-cut vinyl sticker in the mail, and a shout-out on the show. I will say we have not had any new patrons for a while now, so we know you're out there. And it would be super cool if you would be so kind to just say, hey, here's $1, guys. Anyways, needless to say, that out of the way, Jake. How are you doing this Memorial Day weekend?
Fine. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Been outside basically all weekend. Yeah. It's really nice here. So been able to do that, trying to avoid the insanity that is basically living. Pymatuning and Conneaut Lake are only like 10 minutes from each other. Mm-hmm. And so between those two, you get such a huge influx of just people on Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the unofficial like first like weekend of summer or whatever. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty crotchety because all these people coming in don't know the rules of the road, driving like crazy people, getting in accidents, fucking ambulances flying all over the place,
cramping your style, essentially.
I worry about like being on the road and stuff.
Yeah,
because it's like you get people just running stop signs because they're not familiar with the area and all kinds of crap going on.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's fine. It is what it is. It's good for the community. You know, the money that comes in is awesome, but it can be a little bit frustrating.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Other than that, everything's good with you then, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
You got like a week off?
I took vacation this week.
Oh, okay.
So
nice.
So I'm off until actually I took the following Monday off too. So I'm off until I guess Tuesday.
Lucky dog.
Next week.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to Nashville for a hockey tournament, so I've got some time off for that.
Yeah, well, good luck to you. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for me, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. The wife's away this weekend, and I had a gig Friday night, and that went well and good, and I got back Saturday, and that was yesterday. So, yeah, I got back. Yesterday was Saturday. Today, we're recording this on Sunday. So, yesterday, I feel like I was so busy, but I don't know what I did. Like, Paul came over and laid down One Up on Land tracks Saturday morning from, like, 11 to 2. And then after that, I started running again. So, like, I don't know. Like, there's something about working out that I can't stand unless I have a way to, like, see my progress. So, when I was running avidly last year and the year prior, I was using this free app, and it's on my phone. It's just called Nike Run Club is what it is, and it's free. Mm-hmm. Anybody can download it. You don't need to pay for the services, and it's really nice. And you just strap it to your arm, and it uses the in-phone GPS. And you can set mile markers for yourself. Like, okay, today I want to run 3 miles. And then it'll track how long it takes you to do it. It'll show you on like a map. It'll give you like an outline of everywhere you ran if you're running outdoors. And it'll show like a yellow when you're running slower, red when you're running faster. So you get all of this data. And it's really fun to try to outperform yourself. And it becomes like a mini game for me. And that was like not the motivation, but that's kind of what kept me to it. Now, the con of using this app is that I quit running a long time ago. I just fell off the wagon. So for my birthday, I got a new pair of running shoes, and I got some new running clothes. And I'm like, you know what? I live right down the road from the high school track, and I decided 2 days ago, actually yesterday, I decided yesterday that I'm gonna put this shit on, and I'm gonna see how the dust settles. I put on a little bit of weight. I'm not as in shape as I was. So I'm gonna go. So I ran about 2.25 miles, and it wasn't my fastest, but I felt good when I was done. But when I turned on that app to start my run, it said your last run was 10 months ago. And I was like, fuck, I fell off the wagon. And it's so frustrating. Like, the technology is awesome, but it also sucks because it reminds us. Get those pictures, like, oh, this is where you were 6 years ago. Boom, this is something that happened. Sometimes those are like really cool, and sometimes they're like really depressing. So in this case, it was a bittersweet moment because it felt good to turn my app on, but it also sucked that it just hit me in the face with like, you haven't ran in 10 months. And I was like, yeah, no fucking shit. So anyways, I went out yesterday, and then I woke up really sore, and then I did interval running today after I went for a motorcycle ride with my father. And we've been enjoying the headsets that we both have now. And we were riding, and we just got a little ways out of the way, out of like the area, and I had forgotten that it was Memorial Day weekend. And I was like, we ought to just turn around. I was like, we're probably going to if we get killed on our bikes, it's going to be like this ride because it's Sunday, people aren't working tomorrow, and we were out around 5 o'clock. And I was like, this is like the worst time probably to be out on the bike. But there was like surprisingly like zero, like we passed like maybe 9 cars.
Well, you just got to go out. Like that's one of the things Sarah and I talked about if we were going to go for a ride. I was literally just going to point like the opposite direction of the lake and just like drive out into the middle of nowhere because, the likelihood of traffic being out there is pretty small. It's just you got to stay away from like places people like to go during Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
Which is, anything that's outdoorsy.
There was unfortunately a fatality this week in Meadville, motorcyclist, 4:30 p.m. out by in between like Cambridge and Sagertown. I think where Campbell Pottery is, where that kind of veers. I think a drunk driver actually pulled out in front of a bike, and the biker lost his life, unfortunately.
That sucks.
Yeah, especially during the day like that. Like when you think you're the safest, you know what I mean? Like probably, the sun, it wasn't raining or anything. It's just some dude pulled out in front of a motorcyclist, and that was it. He was 29.
I wonder if he was
29 years old. He didn't have a helmet. Did not have a helmet.
I was gonna say, I'm sure he wasn't wearing a helmet because nobody fucking around here wears a helmet because they would rather be vain on their Harley than wear a helmet and be safe. Yeah, it's really annoying to me.
It's kind of hard to say what this specific situation was, but I do know that it was also the guy in the car or the truck or whatever had been drinking, and
I'm sure it sucks. It definitely sucks. Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, you can never be too safe. Drive defensively, and I guess, and
never get in a car without a seatbelt. Never get on a motorcycle without a helmet.
It's true.
2 rules I live by.
Yeah, that's so true. But yeah,
I was actually Sarah and I were driving to Erie today. It's funny you were talking about running because Sarah and I decided we were going to start doing some kind of running.
Look into that app for real.
And we both got Fitbits, and they actually like the Fitbit app will actually track a lot of that stuff for you. It's not like as tailored to running, so like it doesn't have the specific like running stuff like you're talking about. But like mine will, it'll tell me. It'll give me a map of like where I ran but instead of having like, this is where you're running fast, this is where you're running slow. Like it does have some of that, but it's more like, this is your pace, like your mile pace. And this is what your heart rate was at this spot. And this is what your heart rate was at that spot to give you an idea of like how hard you're exerting yourself. Yeah. Which is kind of cool. But anyway, we were driving to Erie today, to get fitted for running shoes.
Oh, fun.
I don't know if you know, there's actually a running store in Erie.
Yeah. What's it called?
It's called Achilles Running Shop.
Yeah, they'll let you run on a treadmill and they'll analyze your stride and stuff.
Yeah, it's cool. We went there and they just have a track and you kind of walk. You like walk and they watch you and analyze your gait and all that stuff, and you can kind of talk to them about your needs and they'll pick specific shoes for you and everything.
I need to do that next.
It was really cool. I mean, if you buy like legit running shoes, they're not fucking cheap, but But if you're doing a lot of running, it's totally worth it.
Because I definitely overpronate like when I run, so it's a big problem.
Oh yeah, yeah. We both do too, and so that was one of the things that we really wanted to look into.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we were driving to Erie, and I was just like, we're driving up 79, and the traffic's kind of busy because it's a holiday weekend, but like it's doing a brisk pace, 70, 75 miles an hour. And do you ever, like, when you're driving around, you get that? Do you ever get like that sort of existential moment where you're just like, how is it legal that just anybody is allowed to drive a car at 75 miles an hour?
Yeah, I think about crazy stuff like that all the time. Like I don't understand.
Like all it takes is just if you think about it, like all it literally takes when you're on like you're on the highway or driving, all it takes is like just a subtle jerk of the wheel and you're just fucking dead. Mm-hmm. Or like somebody else is dead because you hit them or whatever. It's just so crazy to me. Like I don't often have these thoughts. Like it doesn't keep me from driving or anything, but like it is one of those things that's kind of crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, we're in these huge metal weapons, really, just flying around inside them. And, we can control them, obviously, but, I mean, shit happens, dude.
I think a lot of that really kind of came sort of into the front of my brain when I started taking my motorcycle to the track. When you're, like, really going fast and, like, you're not protected by anything other than, like, your abilities as a rider and your safety and other people being safe. Like you learn to like rely on each other to be safe on the, when you're riding, and you're just like, it's really unfortunate when you're just like, man, I feel safer going 100 miles an hour around a motorcycle track than I do on some of these public roads with some of these people driving. It's really sad.
Into one of those, whatever we have now, all those weird circles that you have to zoom around.
The traffic circles. I'm actually okay with them. I'm actually okay with the traffic circles, but I do feel like I have a couple times seen incidents in a traffic circle where it's just like people are just fucking confused by them. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, okay, like we're still in that sort of like learning period with traffic circles around here. But yeah. Anyway, we can talk about video games now, though.
Yeah, maybe we should do that, man. I don't know. So this is episode 225 of PS. This is awesome. And the first thing we're going to talk about are games that we're playing, and then we're going to get into a quick discussion about Tribes of Midgar. I am freaking neck deep in GTA 5 Online right now. I am so into this game. And I didn't think this would happen, but once you figure out the menus, and I know I've said this before, and then I thought I understood it, but I didn't. So like, boom, I gave up on it. I came back to it, and now I've been into it long enough, consistently enough. I 100% understand how GTA Online works. And my mission, and if you're listening, podcast listeners, I really want to have some help doing a couple heists. I think they're fun. I think they're creative. I think they're innovative. It's very difficult because you have to have 4 people to do it. So I'm trying to do these heists, and once in a while I get good random people that'll jump in with me, and they know what they're doing, and we'll some of the planning stages. But it's hard to get 4 people together. So if you're listening, Anchorless_81, find me on GTA 5 Online. Let's do some freaking heists. I need some help moving meth, and I need help doing some warehouse missions. I want to get to $2 million, and I'm not paying a single real dollar towards it, so that I can get a business suite and activate the Dr. Dre missions. That's all I want to do. That's my end game for GTA 5 Online, and I can't get
Play
there.
the Dr. Dre missions.
Until I raise enough money.
Fair enough.
So they. I don't know if the listeners know, but they implemented this. It's almost like single player story. There's a story in GTA 5 Online where Dr. Dre apparently has his demo tape stolen, and he's in the fucking game. And like you as like a contractor get hired to retrieve his demo tape, and it's apparently there's like a set of missions that you get to do and work with Dre, and that's all I want to experience. But you have to get $2 million in game cash and buy this enterprise first to raise your status so that you get the call to help him. and I'm just waiting, and I'm trying to build the money up. So I can't wait to do this. So anyways, yeah, I'm really excited about that. Outside of that, I played Tribes of Midgar, and LJ and I played this last night. We played two. One was just he and I, and then we're like, well, let's do it with 10 players total online. And that lasted like 2.5 hours, that game. And like we got all kinds of level ups and boons and stuff. So I have a lot to talk about that, but we're going to get into that conversation as soon as you tell me, Jake, what you've been playing.
So I'm still playing Guardians of the Galaxy. I got to a point where I thought it was like towards the end of the game, but apparently it's not. So still going with that. I still love it. There are a lot of problems with the game. Just like in gameplay, there's some stuff that doesn't flow super well. But it's one of those games where it's like, I just love the characters and the interactions and the voice acting and everything that like, I can already tell you that I'm going to be sad when this game is over. Not because I miss playing the game, but because I miss like the back and forth and the banter of all the characters and what's going to happen next and how are they going to solve this problem or whatever.
Right.
So still really enjoying that. I'm still playing. I did play a little bit of Tribes of Midgard, so we could talk about it on the show. And I also have been playing. Can't remember if I talked about it on the podcast last time, but I think I did. I'm still intermittently playing Lara Croft Go.
Yeah, you did mention that
on my phone. Still really enjoying it. I mean, I think it's. Have you ever played one of those either Hitman Go or Lara Croft Go?
I think I had played Lara Croft in the Temple of Osiris, but I don't think I played Lara Croft Go. Yeah, jeez.
So in my opinion, so I hate mobile gaming. They're like, unless it's like literally, words with friends or something stupid like that, or some crossword puzzle or something. In my opinion, mobile gaming just has never been able to do it for me. But I think I'll be completely honest. I believe that those two games, Hitman Go and Lara Croft Go, are examples of perfect mobile games. They require, very minimal, like exact input from the user. It's basically just like kind of swiping, and it's like all sort of turn and timing based. They somehow are enabled. It's like this board game style, but they're somehow able to embody sort of the adventure of Tomb Raider, which is really bizarre. The one big difference about, and I don't know which game came first, but the big difference about between Lara Croft Go and Hitman Go, Hitman Go is very much about like, those games like Angry Birds and stuff, where it's like, can you finish the level in like the least amount of moves to get so many stars and all that kind of stuff. So Hitman Go is much more like that, where it's like you've got an objective to complete in the level, and you're trying to do it like in the most efficient way possible. Whereas Lara Croft Go, it doesn't give a shit if you take one move or 500 moves to finish a level. And like the quote unquote stars for the level is when you're playing it hidden in the map in the background all over the place. It's like a Where's Waldo thing. There'll be like treasures that you have to find while you're playing it. So you just like tap on it and it says, oh, you found this treasure.
It's like the treasures in Golden Abyss.
Kind of, yeah. And then the other big difference between the two is like Lara Croft in Lara Croft Go is actually an animated character that's running around the map and like shooting the bad guys and stuff as you're doing this thing. Whereas Hitman Go is really interesting in that all of the characters on the map are just like game board pieces. Like they're totally still. They're actually like figurines, game board figurines. And it's like a legitimate game board where you're moving it around. And then when you move one, all the other characters move. And then you have to kind of like, navigate the world while figuring out the movement patterns of everything else. Lara Croft Go is the same way, but it's more fluid, more animated, more adventure-y feeling. I think they're both amazing games. So like if you guys are looking for, like, one of the things is that I like having a game on my phone that I enjoy playing enough that if I'm ever in a pickle and I need something to do when I'm bored, or like I can't sleep or something like that, it's just like, oh, I can just pick that up and play it for a little bit. It's not something I'm gonna play all the time, but it's something that like I can whip out if I need to. And if you're like me and you like having something like that at your fingertips, those two games are awesome options. Now they're not free; you have to pay for them, so that might be a no-go for some people. But I think it was like I when I bought Lara Croft Go, I think it was $6. So that might sound like a lot to some people that are used to getting everything for free on mobile, but there's no ads, there's no nothing. You just boot in. It's a good game. This would be like I would play this. Yeah, it's the perfect mobile game in my opinion. Short of like I think they ported Severed to iPhone, which is that PlayStation Vita exclusive by Drinkbox. And that game is awesome, and it's all touch controls. That game might be a shining example of like the best you could possibly do with touch controls in terms of like the way we think about games right now. But in terms of, but I wouldn't say that it's a great like mobile game. That's like a game that like takes time and you want to spend your time with it. And on a Vita, it's perfect because if you pick up your Vita, you're like playing a game. Where with the mobile games, I'm always thinking like, oh, I want something where I'm just killing time, or I can just open it up and do a quick thing and then put it away. And the Go games, Hitman and Lara Croft Go, are both shining examples of that.
Very well. Good. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, as far as mobile games, what I have on my cell phone is essentially just Minesweeper. I just always resort to Minesweeper.
Dude, I love those puzzle games though. The only other game I have on my phone is it's like one of those puzzle games. Like they're all basically the same. They just take different forms. But the one where it's like, if you complete the puzzle in so much time, you get like the most number of stars or whatever. And the one that I got, just because of, like I do engineering by trade, there's a one where it's just like completing circuits.
Oh, yeah.
And like if you do it in a certain amount of moves, then you get like this number of stars or whatever.
Keeps you sharp.
Yeah.
It's good practice.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey. As we've discussed on previous shows, we are picking one of the available PS Plus games each month, and we're going to play through it for the month, and then the final show of that month, we are going to discuss our experience with that game, our opinions, and what we thought of the game. We had chosen Tribes of Midgar for May of 2022, and so we took that journey, and I hope that some of you did as well. I know LJ did, one of our patrons and listeners, and we played a bit of that last night. But Jake, I guess I'll just start with how I felt about it. I've got a few things to say about this game. Right out of the gate, this game wasn't for me. I'll say on top of that, I thought it was interesting that they've mixed kind of like a Don't Starve kind of formula with a tower defense formula with a roguelite formula. All of those game mechanics are wrapped into Tribes of Midgar with added like Genshin Impact drops and bonuses for your character. So like I understand the appeal. I didn't appreciate how little you're told, but I think that's part of the game mechanic. Like Don't Starve, they don't tell you what berries to pick up and what you need to do well. There's a little bit of a Warcraft thing for this game too, like building, resource gathering. It was like a lot of the things in gaming that were really big at one point that like kind of all became this game, Tribes of Midgar. And I still don't understand how the frost mechanic works in this game. There's a point where frost occurs on the map. I don't know why it fucking shows up, and then you just can't walk in it because you die almost instantly. And I guess you have to grab shit to make clothes that fight the frost or drink potions and stuff. I still don't know what causes it. I don't know if it's the calendar. I don't know if a clock ticking down. There's a lot of weird shit in this game that like I feel like if you really I feel, I don't know. Part of me enjoyed the time I spent playing it with LJ for sure, but at the same time, under no circumstance am I interested in going back. Like, it just seems like it required too much.
So my takeaway from the game is that if it wasn't for some fundamental aspects of the game, I could see this being a game I would really enjoy. So, like, if, like you say, this game was more like Don't Starve and less a tower defense game, I think I would love it. Because it's like, the whole idea behind it is that you're defending one of the last seeds of the tree of life, and from the wrath of Midgar or whatever the fuck.
Right.
And every night they attack at night. It's like Ragnarok. So like at night, they attack, and you have to try to defend at night. And then in the day, you're basically, your whole goal is going out and getting resources and improving your base
Foraging
and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, what I loved about the game was actually going out and, like, I like the mechanics of going out and gathering resources and improving my character and fighting the enemies and figuring out how to, upgrade my weapons and stuff. And even like build my base out so that like I have more stuff, to be able to craft or whatever. But what I didn't like about it was the fact where it's like, oh, it's nighttime now, everything's attacking your base, and it happens so fast. Like the day-night cycle is so fast in this game that I don't feel like I can accomplish anything in the amount of time that they give me. Because like I'm running around and I'm like, okay, I spend all this time running around. I haven't hardly gotten anything. Oh, it's nighttime again. I got to run back to my base. And then I run back to the base, and the village is so large that even from level 1, the enemies attack you from 3 sides. And it's like, well, there's no, like, I literally, in the amount of time that night lasts, I can't even like kill the enemies at one spot, run to the other spot and kill the enemies there. Like, it's impossible.
You weren't equipped well enough, right?
I mean, even if I was, I mean, maybe there's a mechanic in the game that lets you run faster or teleport or some shit later. There's all kinds of shit.
I don't know if you saw, but there's like leveling systems for the characters. So like you get these things called blessings, and then you use the blessings to turn your guy into like an archer or to a warrior or to whatever, depending on your class.
Yeah.
And then within that, there's like all these skill trees, and like you have this. Yeah, dude. I don't mean to cut you off, but like the frustration was real in this game because I feel exactly what you're feeling. I don't think that you can play this game single player because LJ and I tried to do it, the two of us, and we had no fucking chance. As soon as that Jotun Monster King showed up, it was over. We couldn't kill him. He had like 200 million points or whatever. And it's like, we can't kill this guy, and he's coming to us anyways. So,
well, you have to. I got the impression based on the tutorial that you have to kind of work your leveling so that you have the appropriate elements that when you attack them, you can deal more damage and shit like that. And I can see this being a game because I think it's relatively new. I could see this being a game with some polishing and like tweaking as it lives, that it could be very popular. But for me, I really would have preferred this be like have taken more of like a less of a tower defense tract and more of like a Minecraft survivor tact, where it's like, oh, you're going out and you're mining stuff and you're improving your character, but when things attack your base and set shit on fire, and when you get attacked and stuff, it's more like environmentally random and less like, fighting the clock all the time. And I was thinking about this while I do a lot of thinking while I'm taking a shower. I was taking a shower earlier, and I was thinking about it, and I'm thinking, like, I will admit that my opinion of this game is is probably like I was thinking about like what's the opposite of thinking about something with rose-colored glasses. I was like maybe it's like brown-colored glasses. I don't know, but like my opinion is sort of skewed in that I don't like these types of games. Like I don't like I hate tower defense games, and I really don't like games like what do you call them, like escort missions and shit like that, which is kind of like a tower defense game, but you're escorting someone through a map as opposed to trying to keep your base from falling. And like and I think it just has a lot to do with the fact that it's like it's less based on my sort of ability. I don't know. I don't want to sell it short. I guess what I'm saying is that I don't think that it's not 100% the game's fault that I don't like it.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's what I said out of the gates about me too. Yeah, this is not my kind of game, but I can definitely appreciate the appeal that the game probably has, being that it taps into a lot of those markets that people do like those things. And is it doing it better than other games? I couldn't answer that because I don't play a lot of those games. But I did like that, you know, if you get through a run and you die relatively quick, the game rewards you with like a booster pack. And it's like, oh, next time you start and play this game, equip the booster pack, and we'll start you with a sword, we'll start you with a shield, and we'll start you with 10 wooden planks and a pick to go do. And it's like, oh, okay, so now you're giving me a boon, so like next time I go back, I'm not like going to be in as shitty of a situation. And I feel like every time you play this game, like a roguelite or whatever, it's going to spec you out with something that makes you want to come back. And that's how it gets its hooks in you.
I know, but I hate that, like, oh, well, if you're fucking, you know, the best gamer in the world, you can play it right off the bat. But if you're the average gamer, you know, the game is going to force you to die like 50 times before you're actually like, it's the same like problem I have with, you know, other roguelites and Dark Souls and stuff like that, where it's just like, you know, I'll be honest with you, like more than any other Souls game on the planet, I thought Elden Ring was fucking amazing. But I do think that there is a fundamental disagreement between me and these types of games where it's like, and I think it really and I've brought this up on the podcast before, I think it like boils down to the fact that I just have such a limited amount of time playing games. I don't want to spend the first 5 hours of this game like dying and learning and dying and learning and dying and learning and dying and learning. And it's just like, I want them to be like, okay, you know, we're going to start you out. Here's the mechanics. And then we'll start you out with easy guys. And then you learn, like, for example, like a game like old school games like Mega Man and stuff like that. They taught you how to play the game with the level design. Whereas like this game gives you this fucking 30-minute tutorial and then drops you into the game and you have no idea what the fuck to do.
Yeah, there's never tutorial. There's never a hint screen.
Dude, just to give you like a quick anecdote, I found the like I accidentally pressed like one of the left or right on the D-pad and it gave me this fucking crafting hammer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, the tutorial didn't fucking cover this. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, maybe I can build shit like it's, you know, an RTS or something. And then the only thing I could build was a fucking ramp. I'm like, what is this good for? I have no idea what this is for. What do I do with this? So I just like put a ramp up to a tree and then cut it down. I don't know.
Like 100%. And I was complaining to LJ the whole time. I was like, it would have been nice if the game would have told us how to build the boat, but you're sitting there and you're thumbing through all the buttons. You're like, you pull out the hammer and you have a boat in your crafting supplies, but you have no idea how to build it. And then all of a sudden your guy's holding a hammer and you're like, okay, how do I build the boat? And then you're like switching hammer, sword, hammer, sword, hammer, sword. And when he has a hammer, if you hit the D-pad to the right, then it flips up to a boat. And you're like, oh, okay. Would have been nice to know how to do this, because in the meantime, you know, Jotun is on his way and you're just trying to fucking get the hell out of Dodge. Anyways, Jake, let's put our ad on. We're going to be back. We're going to talk about news. Lots of good news stories here today we're going to talk about. So go ahead and listen to this. We're going to advertise for ourselves. Go ahead.
So just real quick before we jump off, because I know we have a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I don't want to just like walk away from this game just completely shitting on it. I think that it has a great framework for the people that are into these types of games. I think it's very interesting. I think that if you master the mechanics, it's kind of like me with Dota or something. It's like I just don't have the time to fucking learn this game. But if you learn the game, I feel like it could be a lot of fun. I like that they're supporting it with seasons, with like all these themed content. Like it seems like this season is like pirate themed, which is kind of cool. I think the game feels very neat as far as like feeling when you play it. I think that the art style is really interesting and cool. Although I think that like this little smoke puffs like confused me at first. I'm like, what the fuck is it? Like marshmallows? Like, oh no, it's just smoke, right? But yeah, I think this game is for a lot of people. It's just unfortunately not for you or me.
Right. Yeah. That's all there is to it. And yeah. Well put. I agree. So if that any of what we talked about sounds like the kind of game that you like, go for it.
Yeah.
I'm not casting judgment. I had fun playing it with LJ last night. I just don't think that I'm ever going to play it again because it was enough to drive me bonkers. I just felt completely lost. All right. Anyways, let's listen to this ad real quick. Hit it. Welcome to the PS This Is Awesome Patreon page. For those of you that don't know, my name is Fred Oakman.
And I'm Jake Peters.
And we're a PlayStation podcast currently in our 10th year. Our first episode aired in July of 2012, where we discussed and speculated on the arrival of the PS4. Over the years, we've used this podcast to take a break from adulting, share our love of video games, and in particular, PlayStation.
The audio podcast is available on all major streaming services, and we have recently made the leap to uploading video content and video podcasting to our YouTube channel, as well as the very occasional Twitter post or live stream. Over the years, we have covered everything from PS3 to PS Vita through the launches of PS4, PSVR, and now PS5. As our audience has grown over the years, we have decided to start this Patreon with the hopes of creating a medium in which we can give you the opportunity to help support our show.
And as a test bed, we're starting with a single tier. It's called the one and only $1 Club. So with your support at the $1 level, we're going to mail you a premium vinyl cut sticker and give you a shout out on the podcast. But at this time, unfortunately, we can only ship to the US and Canada. But this is subject to change depending on your interest.
So whether you're new to the show or you're a frequent flyer, we are forever thankful for your support and hope you can find it in your little gaming heart to join us in the one and only $1 Club. Until next time, like PlayStation, podcasting, and Patreon,
P.S. This is all right. We're back. And to get on with the news, first thing is first, Jake, we're going to test our PlayStation knowledge yet again via the Push Square website. They have these knowledge checks. Both Jake and I, if you're familiar with our show, you have heard us just ace these bad boys. I'm going to open it up real quick on my computer. And Jake,
I'm waiting for us to get our first 100% hundo on one of these. Yeah,
dude, we got this.
It'll never happen.
Yeah,
unless literally every single one of them is like, what's the theme song to Richard sound like?
Oh God, yeah. All right, so question 1 of 15: who plays Joel in The Last of Us? Easy. It's Troy Baker. We don't have to go any further. You agree?
Yep.
Boom. Correct. Question number 2: who is this Mortal Kombat X character pictured? He has a red blindfold on and a katana. His name is Aaron Black, Takeda, Raiden, or Kenshi. It's Kenshi.
I'm glad you know that because I've never seen this character before.
Boom.
But my last Mortal Kombat game was literally like, what was the Mortal Kombat game that came out on fucking PS2
I don't even
that
know.
long ago?
Yeah. Got it right though. Kenshi is correct. How many Onimusha games were there on PS2? 8, 2, 6, or 4? I've never played Onimusha. I have no idea what it is. And that's probably like sacrilegious to some people, but I don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. How many games, Jake? PS2, Onimusha. Probably 4.
Yeah.
You good
I
with
would go
4?
with that. That sounds right.
Yeah, boom, got it. In what year did No Man's Sky release on PlayStation 4? 2018, 2016, 2020, or 2014?
2016, I think.
I think it's 2016. Or was it 2014? 2016, dude. It has to be 2016.
No. 2014, I think, was Destiny.
Let's go 2016. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Boom, got it. Question 5 of 5. What mode did Call of Duty World at War introduce to the series? Zombies.
Yeah. That game is awesome. A lot of people forget about it, but
yeah, World at War was
a great game.
My brother bought me that once for Christmas.
The only thing that sucked about World at War was like the fucking, they call them monster closets, but like that was one of those games where it was like, if you just like set, some games you can just sit back and kill all the enemies and then continue.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that in this game because it just infinitely sends enemies at you until you achieve like a certain goal.
Right. All right, Jake, I don't want to jinx us, but that's 5 for 5, bud. 6 of 15. Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom. What is Roland's career back in his own world? I know this. I beat this game. Do you know? Is he a military general, an astronaut, a president of a nation, or a martial artist?
I'm going to say military general.
Nope, he is a president of a nation, and that's what we're going to pick. Correct. President of a nation. Nice guess, though. Now, this is you, Jake. 7 of 15, no pressure. Who was the first English player to feature on the cover of a PlayStation FIFA game? Was it Jordan Henderson, Wayne Rooney, Sol Campbell, or David Beckham?
David Beckham, almost certainly. I mean, he's,
was he the first
OG English footballer?
Let's just do it. Oh, man, we got it. That's 7 of 15 correct. In what year?
He was like the first like multimedia, like people that get internet and TV famous.
Yeah.
Like he was like the first, UK footballer to be like that.
Yeah. This is actually going to be a tough one. 8 of 15. In what year was Final Fantasy VII Remake first announced? 2009, 2012, 2018, or 2015? I think it's 15.
2015.
You going?
Yeah, because I remember like after the PS4 was released, which was 2013.
And the wait was forever for this.
I don't know if you remember that they like teased Final Fantasy VII and it ended up being like a port of the original and not the remake.
I'm gonna click 2015, Jake.
It is 15. I'm almost positive.
Got it. That's 8 of 15 in a row. Correct. Jake, this one's gonna be very difficult. Which studio developed PS3 action adventure Enslaved: Odyssey of the
Wait.
West?
It's Ninja Theory.
Got it. Oh shit, dude. 10 of 15. In PS1 platformer Croc, Legend of the
I don't know
Gobos. How many Gobos can be rescued in each stage? There's 4 in the 1, 2, 3.
Did you play Croc? Because I didn't.
No, I didn't.
I didn't have a PS1.
But there's 5 in the picture. There's 5 Gobos.
Pick 5. I guess we're just gonna guess. I guess it's probably not right, but
well, could the PS1 handle more than 5? Probably not. Definitely couldn't handle 10 Gobos. Let's go 5. Shit, it's 6. Fuck. All right. Anyways, missed that one. All right. What's the full name of the Gundam VS Verse game that was released in the West for PS4 in 2020? Is it Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme vs. Maxa Boost On? Is it Mobile Suit Gundam vs. Ultra X Frame Radius? Is it Mobile Suit Gundam vs. Evolution Frontier X? Or is it Mobile Suit Gundam vs. Max Burst Soul Release? They all sound legit.
I don't know.
It's probably versus Max Burst. It's definitely not Maxi Boost. That sounds like a feminine hygiene freaking thing. So it does. I gotta laugh at it, Jake.
I just want to see that on like a package
Maxi
at Walmart.
There's no way it's that.
It's just okay. We don't want to get.
We do. It's hilarious. All right, Mobile Suit Gundam versus Ultra X Frame. That's not it. Versus Evolution Frontier. I bet you it's Evolution Frontier X.
I do just guess because I honestly don't.
Dude,
know.
It's Maxi Boost.
Is it really? That's fucking hilarious. The problem is that these. I'm sorry, I'm trying to open my window because it's so fucking hot in here. These games, like these Japanese games, they just like add random fucking words onto the end of the title, and I'm not trying to throw shade or anything like that, but it's just like I literally couldn't tell you because so many of these types of games come out where it's just like extra D-lit underwater XD space awesome. And it's like, okay, I don't fucking know what that means. But
yeah. Well, we missed it.
So it's maxi boost, huh?
Yeah, we've missed 2 now. Question 12 of 15. In the original Ape Escape, what's the name of the white-haired ape who acts as the game's main antagonist? Is it Ghost, Shadow, Spectre, or Phantom? If
Shadow?
It's probably Shadow, dude. Most white-haired animals are called Shadow. Because of I'm going Shadow. Damn it, it's Spectre. Fuck, we were on a roll too. Which of these characters is not a boss enemy in Batman Arkham City? Ra's al Ghul, Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, or Solomon Grundy? Mr. Freeze. Killer Croc. No, Mr. Freeze. I think it's Mr. Freeze, actually. I'm pretty sure it's Mr. Freeze.
I didn't play this.
I played it.
I played the demo, and that's it.
It's Killer Croc. Kidding me? What average Metacritic score does Deus Ex Human Revolution have on PS3? 91, 78, 84, 89. Probably an 84.
Average Metacritic score does Deus Ex Human Revolution
This is the last
have on
question.
PS3?
No, it is.
I could see 84 sounds...
Nope, 89. Dude, we're tanking. We were on a tear. Which PlayStation had an infamously weird advert featuring a crying doll and a levitating console? Which PlayStation? PS1, PS3, PS2, or PS4? PS3, maybe?
Yeah, go for it.
Got it. All right. 10 of 15. Hey, your PlayStation. Well, damn it. That's like the worst we've done in a long time, even though we had such a tear. Anyways, let's get on with the news, Jake.
I hate these fucking Metacritic ones. It's like,
yeah, why would
you're
we
asking
know that?
me my knowledge? You're asking me my knowledge of the Metacritic database, not fucking what PlayStation history is.
Yeah, well, we can't be too offended because we still did pretty good. Okay, so let's get into it, Jake. This is important. Sony has announced an upcoming State of Play for this Thursday, June 2nd. The State of Play was announced via multiple social media platforms held by PlayStation, indicating that the State of Play will feature first looks at some PSVR2 titles as well as exciting reveals from third-party partners. The State of Play is going to be 30 minutes in length. And as a side note, PSVR2 has been now stated to have 20 games at launch from both first-party developers and third-party partners. So we're going to be getting a State of Play Thursday that is probably going to feature the shit out of PSVR 2. And I heard through the rumor mill that the PSVR 2 actually isn't probably going to cost as much as we fear. But I find that hard to believe. So maybe I don't think we're going to get a price point, but I think we're going to see some of the PSVR 2 stuff this Thursday.
I'm going to tell you this right now, Fred, because I will likely be on the road to Nashville when this happens.
Oh, if it goes on sale, you want me to buy
If they
one?
fucking pre-order it, you better get me one, and I'll just pay you immediately. Cause
Already got your
I don't know
PlayStation
if I'll
5
be-
for you, so
That's true. Be my fucking PS sugar daddy or whatever the hell.
Unbelievable.
But even though I'm paying you for it.
yeah.
But yeah, I have a hard time believing that they're gonna release pre-orders this early when we don't know anything about it. But they did it with PS5, so when they revealed the console, the freaking internet broke and put pre-orders everywhere. So
I don't think they're going to do it on a State of Play, but if they do, I mean, Jake, are you excited about this? You said you're going to be on your way to Nashville, but are you excited about hearing more about? Do you think now's the right time for VR2?
Yeah, why not? I mean, dude, I mean, Microsoft just freaking shit the bed with Starfield and Redfall both delaying into 2023. So they literally have nothing this year. So if Sony comes out and even makes a little bit of a pop, they're going to seem like the big dog on the block. So why not? And PSVR 2, based on the specs and everything that they've revealed, and if they can come out and show that it's going to be relatively inexpensive and show some like legit titles for it, even if it's just one or two, yeah, man, they'll control the narrative for sure. And I'm excited to see more about it. And coming from someone who's not a big, have a bubble. Someone who's not. Let me roll that back. I liked PSVR, but I was super annoyed with the setup of PSVR, the hardware setup. So, and that's why I quit playing it, was because I just couldn't deal with the tangle and like setting it up and having the shit on my TV all the time. Otherwise, I'd have to like deal with all this setup and everything. So the fact that PSVR 2 is supposedly super advanced in terms of hardware, and on top of that, it's like just one little cord that comes out and plugs into the headset. I'm stoked. I mean, because I love the idea of VR. It's just, the matter
execution.
Of the setup.
Yeah. And I think they're nailing it with this one. Before we're going to skip the next bullet point and go to the next one under that, because it's related to what we're talking about. We have that Horizon game that we know Guerrilla's working on, or whoever's working on it. I don't know if Guerrilla's
Call of the Mountain. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that one we know is first party, and that's going to be coming out. But we also, PSVR Without Parole is a channel on YouTube, and there was a Push Square article real quick that just indicated that apparently they had dug up that there was actually a Killzone game that was being worked on for the first PSVR that never actually saw the light of day, and the game was being developed by Supermassive at the time. And I think that they said the platform holder was not happy with how it was turning out, so it could have been passed on to another studio. Is it possible that we see a Killzone PSVR game announced at the State of Play on Thursday?
Dude, I'll be honest with you. And this is partially my frustration with Sony, but if they reveal a Killzone game that comes with like a gun peripheral, I'm just going to fucking buy it, because I was so irritated that they released Farpoint, and apparently Farpoint with the gun peripheral was fucking awesome. But then, by the time I felt like I wanted to play it, it was literally nowhere to be found. They weren't making them anymore. You couldn't find them. You could buy it online, but it was super expensive because nobody had them.
It was like second market, and everything was priced up. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I'm sure that, and hopefully that they don't take advantage of this in terms of pricing and everything. But I love the idea of there being some kind of a peripheral for PSVR 2
for
to be able to play a Killzone. And think about like Killzone this wouldn't be the first time that Killzone has been kind of the, a shining example of a AAA game on a unique platform. Think about Killzone Mercenary on Vita.
Yeah.
Right. That was like considered probably the best quote unquote AAA experience on Vita, at least in terms of shooters.
Yeah.
So if they can leverage that IP with the new VR2, and you've got higher resolution, you've got higher frame rate, you've got this sick peripheral that gives you great accuracy, and you can like really just fucking mow down Hellghast all over the place and feel awesome doing it. Like, that would be really cool. When I think of like a game that has like awesome VR shooting, I think of two games. I think of what's the one that was based on the heist?
Blood and Truth.
Blood and Truth. And I think of God, now I'm fucking blanking on the name of that game. It was like an arcade game that was like a shooter. It was like an arena shooter. Oh God,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I'll think of it. But yeah,
it wasn't the
I
neck
think
one, was it? Riggs?
No. It was.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
But there was another one that you really liked. Yeah, I liked the one with the roller coaster that they did, the scary one.
You're talking about the Until Dawn
Yeah, I liked that one.
knockoff?
Yeah, I thought it was fun. That was real cool. Anyway. Oh, excuse me.
Well, there was Super Hot VR, which was
Super
kind
Hot
of
was
interesting.
great. That wasn't
that's
made
not,
for...
That's not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of, I don't know, Pistol Whip, maybe?
Yeah, dude.
No.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway.
But they exist and they can exist and they can continue to exist. And I would totally like to see a Killzone game. I would be even more surprised if it was like, oh, here's a Resistance VR game. Full-fledged AAA first-person Resistance game for PSVR2. That would be fucking dope, especially with like those cool weapons. Oh man, it'd be so cool. Because the weapon classes were so fun.
I would rather just be clear. I would rather them make a Killzone VR game and make a Resistance like legit PS5 game.
Yeah,
just personally,
it's never gonna happen. They're never gonna.
I know. Like, if they're gonna do a PSVR version of Resistance, that would be like a dope port. You know what I mean? Of
That's
the
true.
Original games would be kind of cool.
Yeah. All right. Next,
but it would be tough.
Yeah. Next news story, Jake. So keep an eye out on Thursday. Let us know what you guys find, what you guys think of the state of play. We'll be talking about it next episode. 5 years after the events from Star Wars Fallen Order, we're going to get a new Star Wars game, and it's going to be titled Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This game has been announced to have a release slated for next year in 2023, and of course Respawn Entertainment is working on it, and they essentially, boiling it down to the interviews that I've read and coverage I read, they essentially are saying that they're putting a lot of focus on improving the combat and making the combat special for this version, for this game, about the upcoming sequel. I never played Fallen Order.
Oh, dude, if you get a chance, you should. It's fucking awesome. I will say that the combat is a little bit difficult at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
But you got to like level up and kind of master the sequence or whatever. I don't particularly care for the actor that plays the main character. I apologize if that offends some people, but for whatever reason, he just doesn't. I think the problem is that like all I see is his character in that show.
Shameless.
Yeah, and I fucking hate that TV show. So I think that's part of it. It's just personal bias. But and I'm not saying it's a bad show. I just personally don't like it. It makes me feel bad as a person.
Makes me feel like a better human after I watch it.
Anyway, it's one of those shows that like
here we go.
you know, we can just this is a little bit of a tangent, but I will say that like I only ever, when it comes to like sitting down, relaxing and watching TV, I never watch dramas ever. There are no dramas that I watch hardly ever. You talk about the big ones like, you know, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, all this kind of shit, like Breaking Bad. When I've had a bad day and I just want to sit down and relax and kind of unwind, the last thing I want to do is watch a TV show that makes me feel bad about being a human.
Yeah.
And so many of these TV shows like pour that energy into you. And it's kind of like the feeling you get from, I know it's kind of hypocritical because it's kind of the same energy that you get from like The Last of Us, but I think The Last of Us was just such a phenomenon in the video game industry that it just sort of overcame that. And maybe The Last of Us Part 2 sort of hit me negatively because it was so much like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a bit of a digression. I will say that it is a great game. And if they're working on the combat and making the combat better, that's dope because the combat is already decent. It's pretty good. But in my opinion, like the most fun, you know, quote unquote, like Jedi style Star Wars combat, I loved the Force Unleashed games. And if they could somehow, you know, channel that a little bit whenever they're making it, because I don't remember who made The Force Unleashed. It might not actually be EA, but it might be the same publisher.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But those games were dope. Anyway, it's a little bit of a digression. I loved the
Fallen Order.
So I'm looking forward to this next one.
Yeah, I've never played it. I don't know if I ever will, but I'm not as invested.
But you've like never seen a Star Wars movie ever in your life,
I've seen the original 3 now, and I think I saw the one that came out after that, and I saw The Mandalorian. So
I haven't seen The Mandalorian yet. Is it done?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
But I mean, is it complete?
Oh, like, I don't know. I know the first season's done, and it was maybe there's 2 seasons. I don't know how many seasons are. However many seasons they've done so far, they're all available, and they're fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I have Disney Plus, and I wanted to watch it, but I wanted to wait until it was like done,
dude,
so I could get the whole story.
Yeah, just watch it now, because I don't know. They're working on that other one now.
Obi-Wan or the Book of Boba?
Yeah, Obi. Anyways, let's keep moving forward.
That.
So, Digital Foundry did a fantastic video, and they stripped down the emulation being offered by Sony so that they could critique it and see what they've done right and what they've done wrong so far and where the improvements need to be made. Now, this is, of course, in relation to the streaming services that they're offering, which are only currently available with the upgraded tiers in the Asian market right now. But currently, streaming PS1 via the new service is only available, like I said, in the Asia territory. So it seems that the PAL versions during cutscenes are unstable due to the need to sync audio via the rendering or something. So Digital Foundry are just a bunch of nerds, and they totally understand this stuff. And, you know, from the videos that they've shown on their YouTube channel, the gameplay actually doesn't seem to be as affected on some of the scenes they were showing. And like I said, these guys are really good at what they do. They found things that most users probably aren't going to notice, but then again, there are some things that are kind of like choppy and weird feeling, like some of the frame rate stuff for the emulation of the PS1 games. And we definitely should be holding Sony to the highest level of output, but some of these things in the video that they're talking about are just not going to get recognized or noticed by casual gamers. But, you know, Sony needs to step it up. If they're going to offer a service and make people pay for it, they should be putting out the absolute best thing they can do. And if Digital Foundry can pick it apart and detail all of the issues that they're noticing and clocking frame rates and figuring out the PAL version versus the US version and why different title screens and, like, God, those guys are insane. Like, where do you find time? Like, do you know how long it takes to, like, edit a video? Let alone the time it would take to fucking research that shit? Like, I can't imagine the work those people do, man. It's unbelievable. It's hard for us to put this video together. Like, and we're just giving our opinions about stuff. Like, we're not like running frame rate traces on streaming platforms and getting into the Asian market and like buying the extra PlayStation Plus to see how it runs and comparing it to US versus PAL versions. Like, that's insane. And then getting the perfect video capture and rendering and then putting it out on YouTube timely. Like, I can't even imagine. It's just stupid. I don't know. I don't have anything to say about this. I'm probably never going to stream a PS1 game on my PS5, so it doesn't even bother me. Jake?
I think that this only matters for... I want to meet somebody who is like, you know what I want to do? I want to play the original fucking version
of Siphon Filter.
Of Siphon Filter. And it's like, okay... I mean, that's cool, but like it's not like you're telling me like I want to play the original version of Super Mario World. That I understand. But you're talking about like these games, these early polygonal 3D era games do not translate well to modern game
and the
technology.
Controls were just shit.
They're awful. And so like I get this whole desire for backwards compatibility. I get the nostalgia and everything. But dude, just for fun, this was a few years ago, but just for fun, I booted up my PS2 and stuck my original Metal Gear Solid 3 disc in there. And I was like, this resolution is so fucking bad that I literally don't know where I'm going. Now, to be fair, Metal Gear Solid 3 is a little bit misleading anyway, because like when you're in the jungle, everything kind of turns you around.
Yeah.
But the same time, it's like remember you probably, and I say you, I mean the royal you, probably don't realize how big of a leap it was when television came into the high definition age until you go back and watch like SD sporting events or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I regularly see, because obviously we've talked about it on the cast before, like I'm a huge hockey fan, and like occasionally I'll get fed on YouTube, clips from old, famous games from the 90s and stuff like that. And I'll put them on and I'm like, fuck, I can't even tell what's going on.
Right.
Because like the resolution is so bad and like you can't follow the puck and it's like, I mean, I'm not trying to criticize anyone. I just wonder, like, is this a vocal minority that actually wants to play these super old games?
Where's this market at? Like,
or is it that I'm the you're
the outlier.
My understanding is the issue, right? I'm the outlier. But and now I do understand that there are some, 3D polygonal games that hold up to this day. I think of games like Mario 64 and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. This is very, very interesting to me, and I will be curious to see how much of a difference it actually makes in the subscriber count.
Yeah, sorry, I just put my dog on the couch. Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're an outlier, Jake, then I'm an outlier also. I don't know where the appeal is of this. I don't have it within me to want to jump into any of these titles. I mean, at best, maybe going back to a PS2 game, maybe one or two PS2 games. I don't even know which ones they would be. Most of the ones that are relevant, the ones that we'd want to play anyways, have already gotten some sort of remake or remaster at this point in their over the past 10, 15 years. PS3 games, I'd like to see a Resistance collection come out. I really would. I would love to see that. I think we're going to get that maybe. But I don't know, man. We got Tony Hawk remade. We got a new Skate coming out. Like, why are we always looking backwards? Let's look forward. Moving forward, Jake. CD Projekt Red announced recently that the new Witcher game, which is yet to be titled, has entered pre-production, and most of their team now are currently assigned to the Cyberpunk 2077 expansion. Speaking of leaks, a leak regarding the expansion for Cyberpunk 2077 was data mined from the PC version, indicating it will open up new areas of Pacifica and also contain 7 new story missions. This is all based on a leak and some hackers getting into the game. And it also said that there are notable absences of Johnny Silverhand, who is the character played by Keanu Reeves, and as far as dialogue, and it is believed that there is going to be a new voice or in your character's head that's taking over Johnny Silverhand. So the DLC may also add dialogue to the main story mission of the original game to chain the end of that game into the upcoming DLC to kind of bridge the gap to make it all make sense. And while we're on the topic of Cyberpunk 2077, when it did get its PS5 port, Jake, this game had an increase in sales. So there's still an interest in the title. My question is it too late to redeem this game? Is the release of this DLC, this long-awaited DLC, going to create a surge in sales? Are people even going to download it who have the game already? Did people have such a shitty experience with the game originally that they don't even care anymore? You haven't even played the game. It's been on sale for $5 here and there. I've seen Cyberpunk 27 on sale for $5, $10, different places. Are you at all interested in this game? I know that it has been in your field of view, but I don't know that you're actually going to ever visit this.
I do want to play it. So a couple things. One, I'm not surprised that Johnny Silverhand is not in the DLC, because who the fuck is going to pay Keanu Reeves to come back and do some fucking DLC shit? It's just not going to happen.
Right.
Two, I do want to play it. And I intend on playing it, assuming I have a gap, because it's going to require some time. So
definitely going to
maybe
take
one
time.
Of those things where I kind of play in between other games and stuff. Because I do want to get we do need to get back to Mass Effect. So I want to kind of, it might be like a late summer kind of game if there's a little bit of a drought there. The other thing that I will say is I don't think that the bad press for Cyberpunk is ultimately going to matter at all, because a bajillion people bought the game regardless of how shitty it is, performance wise, not content wise. And so those people already have the game, and if they love it, they're going to play it. And if I've learned anything about paying attention to video games the last, 10 or 15 years, it's that in the internet age, people don't care at all. They're just like, I'm just going to buy it.
Yeah.
And if they love it, they're going to buy it. They don't care if it means that they're just fueling the issue, which is that games are releasing broken.
Video game machine, right?
I mean, Cyberpunk made all its money back in like 2 days, even though they released a product that was so broken that Sony, for the first time ever, removed a game from its store. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to really have an impact on who buys what for Cyberpunk. Yeah. I think in the only place it's going to have an impact is in the way that developers release games. And hopefully that's a positive thing, because developers won't take as much of a chance anymore releasing a broken game because of the lashback from Cyberpunk.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I agree. I'm excited for the DLC. I probably am going to run through this game one more time, the PS5 version, the haptics and everything. It felt good. I did download the PS5 version and powered up my previous save, and I couldn't remember how to play the game at all. So it's one of those situations now where I just got to restart. Because
do you want to make a new character, one that has a small dong instead of a huge dong?
Ooh, I don't know, man.
See how the world treats you differently when you have a tiny dong?
My cool factor would be...
Does it drop when you have a tiny dong?
I think it does. I am curious. I think it might. Yeah. Or maybe in the future it's cool to not have a long dong. Who knows?
It could be.
Yeah, who knows? It's probably cool not to have like any reproductive organs in the future, honestly. I don't know. We'll find out when we get there, Jake. But yeah, I don't even remember what class I played. I can't remember in that game.
Weren't you?
I was like the desert person, I think.
Yeah, the Outlander or whatever the fuck they called it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. Well, let's do one more news point, Jake, and we got to kick our call back together here to tie off the show. We got more news points, so don't go anywhere. But the next news point is a quick one. In a recent business overview, Sony identified their lack of supply for PS5 as a top priority issue moving forward. Apparently now the PS5 has fallen behind the PS4 in terms of sales trends. If you were to line up a chart from the date of each console release and looked outward, this isn't surprising though, considering the lack of PS5s available. So at one point it was doing better than the PS4, but now it's just kind of tailed off, and that's because they don't have the units to sell. So no one can get their hands on these things.
Dude, I went to Walmart and like looked at buying like lunch meat, and it was like twice as much as I would have spent on it like 2 years ago. So I'm not all that surprised that
people aren't.
What's unfortunate about what Sony is saying is that like, yeah, it's fallen behind PS4, but I don't think there's anything they can really do about it.
No,
it's just the way the world is right now.
People don't have the money to spend, number one, and number two, Sony don't have the consoles to sell, even if we wanted to buy them.
That's the thing is that everything is way more expensive, and they can't get the chips to be able to make the consoles. And honestly, Sony, as much as they're coming out and saying to their shareholders, like, yeah, like we're trying real hard to make PS5s, they're probably literally like wiping their fucking head being like, it's kind of great that we can't sell PS5s right now or can't make them because we're losing so much money on these consoles. Because of the fact that they have to expedite them on planes over to the United States and all this stuff. And like everything is way more expensive. There's no fucking way they're making a profit on PS5s anymore. Maybe like right after launch they were, But right now, I doubt it. With inflation and everything else that's going on, it seems like it's impossible.
Yeah. All right, we're back. And next news point, Jake. Seeing a recent table posted online over at Push Square got me thinking. Sony is really going all in on movies and TVs with the video game franchises. It's really kind of strange, being as how the video game market is way bigger than the movie and television market right now, as far as like money making. Anyways, Sony, have they cracked the code is my question. Usually movies that turn into games aren't that great, and neither are games that become movies. So has Sony found a magical cure to bridge this gap and just make decent movies from their IPs all of a sudden? And with the recent success of Uncharted and the undoubtedly upcoming smash success that The Last of Us on HBO is going to be, do you think this is an acceptable direction from Sony? Do you think that?
I think that Sony is in a unique position in that they have the ability, they have the structure to be able to do. I mean, Sony Pictures has been a thing for how long now? Forever, right? I mean, at least 20 plus years. So 30 years. So they have the infrastructure to be able to basically kind of hand select the IP that makes sense and sort of, put them on a visual medium like movies or TV with care. Whereas that, like, they're kind of in control of it, as opposed to you're thinking about, I don't know, something else like Tomb Raider, for example, that came out. And I'm not saying Tomb Raider was a horrible movie, but by all accounts, it was labeled as mediocre. Not bad, but not good. And so that was a Square Enix movie, and it was a Square Enix game.
Right.
But it was developed by a movie studio that had no stake in it. Right. Well, I mean, other than obviously the money they put into making the movie, but they had no interest in like the success of the IP. Like what does this mean to the video game? What does the video game mean to the movie? Whereas like Sony, because Sony Pictures is existing and Sony Pictures is like making the Spider-Man movie and they're making the Spider-Man game, it's like they have the ability to have like this cohesion
and benefit
all of their
from
thoughts
the game
and ideas.
and the movie.
And you think about something like the Uncharted movie, which we talked about, a few podcasts ago when I finally watched it. And I'll tell you, like, and I'll say it again, the Uncharted movie is not, it's not fucking Schindler's List. Okay. It's not a great movie, but it's fun and it's good. And it embodies like an idea behind and a feeling behind Uncharted that I don't think you would get if you didn't have somebody making the movie that was also invested in the game.
Right.
And, and just based on the way that the movie ended, you get the feeling like, okay, this was us dipping our toes in the water. Now that this was successful, maybe we'll throw you at Drake's Fortune or something like that. And we're going to make a legit movie out of one of our games. And so, and like The Last of Us, the screenshots we've gotten, and like, it seems like they're really thinking like, we're going to follow the first game. And I know that you said that it's undoubtedly going to be a success. And I tend to agree with you, but I don't necessarily, I'm still of the mind that I don't 100% believe that it's going to be amazing until I see it. And so, because the thing about The Last of Us, the thing about Uncharted, the thing about God of War and stuff is that, or at least the new God of War, is that the characters are what matter. So if you can't portray the characters correctly, it's not going to fly. And you think about that is going to be a toss up every single time you make one of these, because it's all based on the casting and it's all based on how much the actor that's playing the role really does their research and how much they really have into how much knowledge they have about the original adaptation.
Right.
Of
And
it.
that goes
I'm not saying they have to be
the directors, right? The directors have to understand the property and then direct the actors as well. So Yeah, can the actors take direction? Can the actresses take direction? Well, I'm looking at the list, Jake, and I 100% agree with what you're saying, but the list is getting ridiculous. So Uncharted
It is, yeah.
was released. The Last of Us is a live-action TV show set for a 2023 release. That's going to be HBO. Naughty Dog are involved, PlayStation Productions, Sony Pictures. Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian, is going to be in it. Gabriel Luna and Bella Ramsey from Game of Thrones is playing Ellie. So you have big-name actors and actresses. The next thing that is slated, there's not a release date, but they've already announced it, a live-action TV show for Twisted Metal. So they have some cast already. They have writers on board already. We have a Ghost of Tsushima live-action movie that is going to be produced by Sony Pictures, 8711 Entertainment, Sucker Punch, and PlayStation Productions. The director right now is Chad Stahelski. No tentative release date. We have a God of War TV show. We have a Horizon TV show in the works. We have a Gran Turismo TV show in the works and a Gran Turismo movie. I mean, that is a lot of fucking video games coming to movie and TV. And I don't know if this is like a takeover that they're trying, like just some sort of, but like, man, like I almost want to be like, keep my video games out of your movies. Like I didn't want your movies to become my video games. So, like, can we just keep them separate? But maybe part of this is smart, right? Maybe there's some teeth to some of this. I don't know.
Dude, I hate to say it, but the Uncharted movie kind of has me as a believer. Like it, and I don't even, like I said previously, I don't even think it's a good movie.
We've had one good video game movie, and it was like, okay, right? Uncharted.
Yeah, but like the only reason why I think The Last of Us has a chance of being a good TV show, not just a critically successful TV show, is that Neil Druckmann is literally fucking writing it.
Yeah.
So
he's listed as a writer.
So that is important. He can literally step in the boardroom and say, like, look, this is not in the spirit of the fucking game. And I think that's important. What the hell is a Gran Turismo TV show? I have no fucking idea. Like, is it?
It's like the Rocky Balboa story, but a race car driver probably.
Is it like literally Drive to Survive, but it's not, it's not a fucking documentary. It's actually like a TV show about a race car driver.
Probably.
Like,
I think that would be cool. I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I mean, it could be
Horizon. A lot of these things if they do it right.
Could be great. I think Horizon is going to be hard because it's going to require a shitload of CG.
A lot of suspension of disbelief.
They're going to have, like, honestly, Horizon to me seems like one of those IP just because of, like, the nature and, like, how crazy it is.
Just leave it alone. Should be a cartoon.
Well, no, or could be, like, an anime, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or
it's
whatever,
not be,
like
I
Castlevania.
Think they cast somebody already as Aloy. Anyways, I just wanted to throw this up on the podcast, man, just because, like, it's starting, and it's starting now, and in a year from now, 2 years from now, this list is just going to get longer, probably. That's all. That's all I got to say about that. Do you have anything else you want to put about that?
I'm honestly the most interested about Twisted Metal. I'll be completely honest.
Tooth, man.
They could make like what I'm envisioning is like a fucking Mad Max Fury Road type
with
thing
with a bit of comedy, like Borderlands comedy.
With it being like comedy. Yeah, I want it to be that, and I hope it is, and that would be fucking.
It would
awesome.
Actually be really good. Yeah, it'd be really good. So we have a few more news points, Jake, but this has been a big week for news, and I apologize, but I'm so freaking jazzed about this game by Supermassive called The Quarry. We've already talked about it a bit on the show, and I want to talk about it just a little bit more because I'm telling you, listeners, this game is going to take people by surprise. I've seen things about this game. I've been following it. It's going to be an awesome game. It's really going to do well. My prediction, I don't know for certain, but that's what I'm saying. So a new video was released by Supermassive where they talk about the different ways the game can be played. You can set up a private party of seven people online and invite people to watch you as you play. And you can chat with them while you're playing. And then when decisions come about, they can do controller presses or use their mobile. I don't know if they use mobile phones or not. But on your screen as you're playing, it'll weigh in like the percentage of people that want you to pick one over the other. And then you can kind of play along with a group of people and then just go and like go through the game that way. So you can have active spectators in your game, which is really fucking cool. Another thing that they're doing is there's a couch co-op mode where players in the room before the game begins are assigned a character or multiple characters. And I believe you play different camp counselors. I think there's like 7 or 11 camp counselors. Whenever that counselor comes into the game and you're controlling that counselor, the game will pause and be like, okay, give the controller to Jake. It's his turn to play this person. And then so you have this collective group of people in a party atmosphere in a room where when it's your turn to play a certain character, you just fucking go to town. You play that person until it passes off. So your decisions are yours alone. So you're not fully in control of the story because you're actually passing that control off to someone else in the room, and they could just sabotage what you had planned, which I think is fucking cool that the game's set up to do that. And then obviously the last way that you can play it is literally just grab a bag of popcorn and do the presets, which I think is one of the most smartest, genius ideas for a game like this. So essentially the way it works is you can choose trait presets for certain characters prior to starting the playthrough or the game to play through, and then they will just act accordingly throughout that round or that playthrough, that story. Or you can actually set a final outcome where like everybody dies, specific people die, or everybody lives, some die, and then the game just fucking rolls. So one thing about the Quarry, this game has me fucking jacked, dude, and it's coming out in June. It's coming out very soon. And
next week.
Yeah, the one thing about it, dude, is apparently they tweeted this thing coming out June 10th. It says that the wait is almost over. This supermassive tweet of this, and the team and I are so excited for you to get your hands on the Quarry in just over 2 weeks. The game will launch on June 10th with local couch co-op and movie mode alongside the single-player campaign. However, they had to make the difficult decision to delay the online multiplayer mode, which is the one I talked about earlier, where you can pick 7 people online to weigh in on your decisions, to deliver the best possible experience for you. It's not a long wait, though. Online multiplayer will be added July 8th. So about a month later, it's getting the online multiplayer. And they say they would appreciate the understanding. Hope you're excited for the game as we are, for it to launch in just 15 days. That was posted a while back. Well, I don't know, dude. Like, this game, I'm calling it, dude. It's gonna do well. I think it's gonna do. Until Dawn was a really good hit, and if they have a full-on game here, Camp Counselor Slasher, and it's 180 different possible endings and all these different modes, and freaking real actors are in it and stuff. The animations look amazing. Everything looks so good.
I'll be honest, even without watching any trailers or anything, just the movie poster alone for this game, I was like, man, it looks like an 80s horror, like slasher movie poster. And I was like, okay, with like camp counselors, like some old Friday the 13th shit or something. And I'm just like, okay, it's probably awesome. I will say that the coolest thing about this is the way that you play the game. They're coming up with unique ideas for that in terms of how you share that experience with others, even in terms of how you play it by yourself with the movie mode and all that. That said, none of this, just because all of these things seem like they're innovative and they're going to be awesome and they're going to be great, that does not necessarily mean that the game itself is going to be a great story.
Sure.
But I will admit that I am willing to sort of give them the benefit of the doubt if they're making a spiritual successor to Until Dawn, which was phenomenal. So we'll have to see. Until Dawn was the only one that was critically acclaimed of all the games that they've done. So they don't exactly have like a winning record across the board, but I believe that they can do it. And so I'm hoping, my one fear is I'm hoping that they didn't, how do I want to say this? I'm hoping that they didn't sacrifice some of the story elements in order to put some of these new gameplay elements into it. because I would have been totally happy with just like the regular normal gameplay style if it meant I was going to get a fucking dope story.
Yeah.
But if I get a mediocre story just so I can have this dope new movie mode,
And a
it's like,
bazillion
okay, well,
different
like,
endings, right? Yeah.
like what the fuck do I care about a movie mode if the story's not awesome? Why am I going to replay it? I don't know. So I have faith that it's going to be good, and I'm actually excited to play it. So that's pretty dope.
What's really cool is like the little interviews with like the director and stuff is like it's like outside and it's dark and there's a campfire and he's just talking about the game. He's like, yeah, so in this game, you know, decisions you make right away may have immediate consequences or consequences down the line that you don't know. And it cuts to the scene of this kid like going down into this like cellar, like taking this ladder. And he gets down there and he's like, oh man, you got to see this. And the guy upstairs is like, what's down there? And he's like, absolutely nothing. And he's like, I'm coming back up. And then he goes back upstairs and then it's like your path has been chosen or something. And it's like, oh shit, like what if you would have stayed down there? Anything could have happened. So yeah, I'm all in. This game's going to be a full $70 though, I'm sure. And the thing of it is 100% what you're saying. They've been really careful, I think, not to show who the killer is. We have no idea. We have no clue what the killer is or who the enemy is or what the mysterious, you know, whoever's hunting the counselors are. You don't know what the enemy is. And I think that's so important for horror movies to not disclose that when you're coming at it from this angle. So it can still be scary for everybody. So anyways, The Quarry comes out June 10th. It's going to be dope. I'm calling it. And Jake, while not at the end of the news section for any particular reason, Sony did this weird thing with PS Plus discounts. Anybody who had received a Plus discount and got their PlayStation Plus on a discounted amount, so like sometimes you can get like a gift card for Plus at a discounted price. They had accounts that were purchased at a discounted price, were being charged the difference to upgrade their account to the new tier in the Asian market. But then, in addition to like, let's say it's $100 and you paid $60, but you for Plus, but Plus you actually paid $40 for Plus. It should have been $60. They have a record that you got a discount on Plus, so they were charging you the $40 to upgrade to the $100 tier, but then also saying you didn't pay full price for Plus, so we're going to charge you an extra $20.
Yeah.
And Sony walked it back, and there was a big backlash. We had to mention it on the show. They indicated due to a technical error, players in Asia who have previously purchased PlayStation Plus membership at a discount have been incorrectly charged for their upgrade pricing. This error has been fixed, and impacted players will receive a credit. We thank you for your patience. Now, my only question is, they're going to get a credit, but is that like a PlayStation Store credit, or are they just going to get their fucking money back? Because
oh no, that's to me it sounds like it's just going to be a PlayStation Store credit.
So they just took their money,
or the extra money that they've been charged.
So they just took it.
Yeah, I mean it sucks that they're not getting their money back, but I don't think there's anything nefarious here. Like I think
you don't think Sony intentionally nickeled and dimed people?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
This would be a pretty fucking bad PR move. I mean, that's kind of
Sony's terrible,
conspiratorial, but I can 100% understand from an engineering perspective how something like this could happen because somebody forgot to fucking place a semicolon somewhere, and it's just like, oh well, this development team didn't necessarily understand everything about how they were supposed to develop this part of the web store. And then so they wrote it up and they're just like, okay, well, the full price of PS Plus is $100 and they paid $40 for it. So they're $60 short, charge them $60. And it's like to me, it's so like mathematically simple, like in that regard, that it seems to me like it could be easy for a developer to misunderstand how it was supposed to work and fuck that up. That said, I don't think Sony should be let off the hook for this. And I think that it's fucking stupid that they're just giving these people store credit and not giving them their money back.
Yeah.
Because who knows, maybe these people didn't want to have 10 years of fucking PlayStation Plus.
Right.
Maybe they wanted to have, 5 years of PlayStation Plus, and maybe they wanted to buy themselves a new Fitbit. I don't know. I just came to my mind because I just bought a Fitbit, but like, you know what I mean? Like it sucks to me that Sony is so incapable / reluctant to
refund anything,
give people their money back, refund anything at all whatsoever once it's the digital transaction has happened.
It's because they hate doing taxes.
It's frustrating.
It's probably such a pain in the ass. I can't imagine.
It could be, dude. It could literally be that it's just like, hey, it's not so much about customer service. It's just that the bureaucracy to do that kind of thing is just such a pain in the ass. We don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. Well,
but I don't know.
They need to fucking learn. Anyways, yeah, that sucks. Days of Play, Jake, is in full swing, and I think I'm going to get House of Ashes, which is the whatever series it's called. There's the Man of Medan was one, and then we had another one, and then what are they called? The something series. Jeez. Anyways, this is super massive as well.
You're talking about that anthology or whatever?
Yeah. Dark Pictures anthology. Yeah, Man of Medan is on sale, or House of Ashes is on sale. Also, Game of the Year, It Takes Two, or video, I think Game Award of the Year, It Takes Two is on sale for $20 right now during Days of Play. So if you're thinking about picking that game up, I've heard nothing but good things. But make sure whoever you're playing it with, it does require 2 people to play the game. Whoever you're playing with is going to play it with you. There's some other good deals on there, but let's keep going. No Man's Sky is...
I will say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will say this. I'm
Sorry.
just throwing this out there. I didn't look a lot into the Days of Play sale. However, talked about it on the show. Outriders is only $22 right now.
Oh, all right.
And that game is fucking awesome.
All right.
So it's definitely worth $22 on PS5. Don't play the PS4 version because it runs slow and it's garbage. Play the PS5 version if you got a PS5. But yeah, there's some good sales.
Yeah. Agree. No Man's Sky is receiving its 20th free update. This time it goes by the name Leviathan. Per push square, in quotes, the 7th expedition. This is the 7th expedition. This one takes the form of a sort of rogue-like experience with a time-looping curse you must put a stop to. End quote. So No Man's Sky continues to just freaking come out and demolish. I think they're working on a new game over there at Hello Games, and we'll see. I think that's who did No Man's Sky. I believe it was Hello, wasn't it? But anyways, we like to talk about that because that is the Rocky Balboa story of PlayStation right now, of video game companies rather.
When I hear time looping curse, I get like fucking flashbacks of just roguelike games. Yeah. So like I would avoid this personally. I personally would not want to play this, but I don't know if that's just my gut reaction. I don't know what it actually is.
Well, that's what it says. It says it's a roguelike experience with a time looping curse. And then BBC Sounds, an app now developed and working in conjunction with the PS5, can bring live, local, and national stations, radio, podcasts to the PS5 while you game. I think I might check this out, actually. It might be nice to have on in the background while I'm cleaning or cooking or doing something. I like BBC. And I think NPR is an extension of that, maybe?
I'm sure you do like BBC, Fred.
Is NPR not an extension of that? WQLN and stuff? I think it is. Is it not? Come on. No. I get the joke. The voice. I get it. But is it not, though?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly
I wonder
don't know.
if we could hear Fred Oakman and the Flood on Sounds Around Town on a replay on this app. Somehow. If we can tune into local. It's possible.
I don't know if BBC and NPR are related.
I thought that they were. I mean,
BBC Music, NPR.
They might not
be. I was trying to find it. Maybe. Maybe it is. Or maybe it's that NPR plays segments from BBC.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. Well, dude, this has to go down as like one of our longest podcasts. There was a lot to say, and we did rush through episode 224. So this is 225. All we have left, Jake, are to go into the new games coming out this week. And I want to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day. May 31st, SnowRunner on PS5. June 1st, Silt on PS5 and PS4. June 2nd, we're getting Behind the Frame, the finest scenery on PS4. Gigapocalypse on PS4. Gravatar Recharged on PS5, PS4. Soldiers, spelled really weird, Souldiers. That's so weird looking. PS5, Surface Rush, PS5, PS4. June 3rd, we're getting Super Perils of Baking, PS5 and PS4. And we are also getting Wonder Boy Collection on PS4. Jake, do you have anything else that you want to talk about before we close off this Memorial Day weekend in 2022?
Did you see this rumor that that you know that game Multiverses?
No.
It's the game. It's like the Smash Brothers kind of game, but it's got like Warner Brothers characters like Bugs Bunny.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
Arya
about.
Stark and all that stuff. And apparently, like some of the characters that they've announced, like a couple of characters that are rumored to be in it. This just came out. Is Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, which makes total sense. WB, I think, actually does that, the Mortal Kombat games. But the other one is Ted Lasso, which is fucking hilarious to me. I don't know, like I've never seen the show, but like I know like the concept of it. And Ted Lasso is a Bill Lawrence created TV show, and I fucking love Bill Lawrence TV shows. But
yeah, dude, that's so funny.
That would be so funny to me if like Ted Lasso was one of the characters.
That'd be like getting Ron Burgundy or something. Yeah, it'd be so ridiculous.
Yeah, it would be hilarious. That game, I think that I don't know this for a fact. We will see when it comes out. But I literally believe that this Multiverses game has the potential to be legit in terms of like a character fighter. Like it could be fucking cool as hell and just popular, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I hope that you're right, and I hope that it does well, as I hope all video games do well for the most part. But there are some winners, and there are definitely some losers. So, Jake, let's close it off, man. It's been a long day. I got to get this entire video freaking compiled and uploaded and all of this stuff and get the iTunes stuff online. This has been episode 225 of PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. We are happy to be here talking video games with you all. Thanks for joining us today, wherever you may be as you listen. And we will be back next week to talk more about PlayStation and most certainly the state of play that is happening on this Thursday. So we'll be back to chime in on our opinions about that.
I feel like I should chime in.
Yeah.
I know it's late in the podcast. I should have said this at the beginning. It just occurred to me. Our podcast next week might be a day late because I am coming back from Nashville Sunday or Monday. So
okay.
Just throwing that out there. I just want to make sure people know. I apologize. I fucking hate that we've been doing podcasts late here and there the last couple of weeks. Thankfully, it's only been a day anytime we've ever had an issue with it. But I'm sorry about that. I'm just traveling for hockey, and so I don't know if I'll be back on Sunday. And to be actually, let's just plan on it being Monday, because even if I do come back on Sunday, I'm probably going to be so fucking gassed that I don't know if I'll be.
So we're going to record the 226 on Monday.
That is June 6th.
Yeah, so we're going to record it on June 6th. Hopefully have it up by June 7th. If not, look for it by June 8th at the latest. So you can hold us to that. But in the meantime, write us. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you think about the state of play, as I'm sure we'll have our own opinions about it. And let's all wish Jake a victory in Nashville for whatever the hell he's doing down there with his hockey shoes. His hockey shoes. Anyways, yeah. All right. Hey, like Fist Forged in Shadow Torch, Fatal Frame, and Forspoken. P.S. This is awesome.
Awesome.